was a Saturday afternoon, and I, having nothing to do, hopped on GTA 5 to try and get 5 stars for the very first time. But who would I use to achieve this ungodly feat? I had 3 options. I could pick Trevor, the former bank robber and CEO of Trevor Phillips Enterprises, known for his apathetic behavior driven only by desire and resentment, never thinking of the consequences to his own actions. Or Michael DeSanta, who worked alongside Trevor 10 years ago as a criminal and bank robber. He'd retired years ago, but was drawn back into the game because of his own bad decisions, enormous ego, and his own greed. Last but definitely not least, we have Franklin Clinton. He grew up as a gangbanger, making money through small jobs. He'd strived to become bigger and succeeded when he met Michael and made him his own mentor. I decided to go with Michael, the retired former bank robber. Franklin was just too new to the game, and Trevor was, well, he's just kind of crazy. I spawned in and switched to Michael. It was nighttime, and he was relaxing by his car on the docks of a lake far from downtown Los Santos. This meant that I was going to have to drive all the way back. Oh well. And so, playing as Michael, I hopped into his janky red car and began to drive south, back to the city. As I drove, I struggled to steer the car. A bit too much, actually. I noticed someone across the street riding what looked like a motorcycle, but upon closer inspection, it turned out to be an ATV. Whatever. It was still an upgrade from the crappy car I was driving. After crashing into the poor guy, I ran him over with my car just to make sure that he wouldn't get up. I hopped onto the ATV and resumed my journey back to downtown Los Santos. But just as I began driving, I noticed somebody that needed help on the side of the road. Being the kind gentleman that I am, I told her to hop on.
Alright, come on.
No way, Jose, I'm not getting on that.
Who the heck does this woman think she is? Oh my gosh, oh my goodness.
Bro.
Anyways, I looked around for a larger vehicle and noticed a golf cart. Attempting to knock the drivers out of their seats, I rammed into the golf cart with my ATV, resulting in me flying out of the vehicle, not them. Great. I was going to have to find a new vehicle. I decided to go with a janky old car that just happened to be passing by. But as I was getting into it, I saw exactly what I needed. A motorcycle. I cut off the driver, stealing the motorcycle from him. Surely the lady wouldn't mind riding a motorcycle. But of course, she refused, and rudely too.
Whatever, I'll get there faster myself.
Bruh.
No matter, it was finally time to go to downtown Los Santos. Surely nothing could go wrong now. And so I cruised along the highway, weaving through cars and trucks, my bike an agile ninja racing through a maze of obstacles. It was a perfect night. The stars glinted like fireflies in the pitch-black dark night sky. Everything was going as planned, but then something happened. Martin and his henchmen were after me. I couldn't return to the city, and neither could Trevor.
My spotter saw you coming into the city, Michael.
Oh my gosh.
You will be dead soon.
I turned my bike around and raced back to the country at top speed.
I think I lost him.
Luckily, I was able to escape them. With no other options left, I switched to Franklin. He was going to have to do for now. Great. I had spawned in my luxury apartment in the hills of downtown Los Santos. But first, I had to change my attire.
Let's go.
Perfect. Appearance is everything when it comes to decimating the LSPD. I had to go with the motorcycle. Motorcycles are just better in GTA. Now it was time to stock up on weapons. I was going to have to use the quick GPS to get to ammunition. And so I followed the quick GPS and cruised elegantly through the streets of downtown Los Santos. Only to realize that I had arrived at the wrong place. And so I drove off again, this time making sure that I was going the right way. I had almost arrived when I heard someone screaming for help. Another woman, could I trust her? I still felt seriously hurt after being rejected multiple times earlier.
Come here.
No matter, I would retrieve her purse anyways. After brutally beating down the thief, I picked up the purse, but I didn't return it. Ha. That's what you get, woman.
Thank you very
A
much.
few seconds later, I finally arrived at ammunition. Let's get this. Let's go. Nice, a homing launcher. Now I was ready to begin. All I had to do now was attract the LSPD's attention.
There we go.
Now that I had 1 star, the LSPD would be searching for me with their lowest tier of officers. My plan was to set up base in Ponsavi's, a high-tier clothing shop. I would hide behind counters and shoot at any officers coming in. By doing this long enough, I should be able to gain 5 stars. By the time I arrived at the store, the LSPD had already lost my location. Great. So I shot one of their cars to gain the attention again. I then dropped a sticky bomb at the front entrance and headed inside. The clerk was another woman, so she had to go. Police officers began arriving at the scene, rushing into the store, but I was ready, pistol in hand, aiming at the exact place where they would arrive. All I had to do now was to survive using the gear I had in my inventory. Everything was going according to plan until this happened. The fire from the sticky bombs had spread across the entire store. I was low on health and needed to heal, but of course it was at this moment that the FIB team decided to storm in.
No.
I tried again and again and again, but I kept getting wasted. After several attempts, I was ready to finish this once and for all. I set out from the hospital, stole a car, and returned to Ponsavi's. This time I would not fail. I held my ground in the store, using my entire arsenal of weapons to take down wave after wave after wave of police officers and law enforcement until finally, I had done it. I had a whopping 5 whole stars in the top right corner of my screen. My day was made and I could die peacefully.